Hi there all you happy hookers, you've got Sammy here after a bit of an absence, being unwell, feeling much better and glad to be hooking in front of the camera again. Today we're going to be completing the Granny Wheel Granny Square as part of our 365 Granny Square a Day Crochet Along project. Now I'm going to be working in a single colour, but of course you can change colours at any time. So fairly simple. I'm starting off with a magic ring, magic circle, but you can do a chain 5 and slip stitch to form the ring, chain of 3, and then 15 double crochet into the ring for round 1, joining up with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of our starting point, which is serving as our first double crochet. So at the end of round 1 you'll have 16 double crochet slip stitch together, ready to start on round 2. My finger is sadly still healing after a recent x-ray, so I will let you guys finish hooking the rest of the double crochet into the first one. I'll meet you back here ready to do round 2. Okay guys, we're back. Round 1 is completed with 16 double crochet. Now if you want to change colour, you just slip stitch with the new colour into any double crochet. I'm using the same, so I'm already in a double crochet. I'm going to chain 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's going to count as our first double crochet in a chain of 1. I'm going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, chain of 1, double crochet into the next stitch, a chain of 1, double crochet into the next stitch, with the chain 1. I'm going to continue that all the way around, finishing with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. So there'll be 16 double crochet and 16 chain 1 spaces. If you're wanting to change colour, you can certainly finish off there, or you can of course continue with the same colour. If you want to follow along with the video, go back around 1 minute 20, but we're just going to be continuing with the double crochet into the top of the double crochet from the previous round, and the chain 1 all the way back to our starting point. See you all in a minute. Okay, we've got round 2 completed at our 16 double crochet and 16 chain 1 spaces. If you finished off with that colour, just slip stitch into the any of the chain 1 spaces. I'm just going to slip stitch over there now with the colour I already had on, and I'm going to chain 3. That'll serve as the first double crochet. I'm going to pop a second double crochet into the same chain 1 space. So 2 double crochet, chain 1. Now we're working into the chain spaces for this round, not the double crochet. So I'm going to skip the double crochet from the previous round and pop 2 double crochet into the chain space. Chain 1, 2 double crochet into the chain space. Chain 1. I'm going to continue this way all the way back to the beginning, where we'll slip stitch into the 3rd loop of the starting chain that serves as our first double crochet. So 2 double crochet into each chain space and a chain 1, 2 double crochet, and a chain 1. If you want to follow along with the video, go back around 1 minute 35. Otherwise, continue with the exact same set of stitches all the way back to the starting point, and I'll meet you back here ready to do round 4. Alright, round 3 completed. Now we're ready to move on to round 4. If you've finished off with that colour and you're changing, slip stitch into any chain 1 space. Now I'm just going to slip stitch through to these next 2 stitches to get myself to the chain 1 space, and we can commence round 4. So I'm going to chain 3, serving as my first double crochet. I'm going to pop another 2 double crochet into that chain space. So altogether 3 double crochet into the chain 1 space of the previous round. And chain 1, I'm going to skip the double crochets and work into the chain space with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. You can see the granny pattern coming out now. Chain 1, skip the 2 double crochet from the previous round and pop 3 double crochet into that chain 1 space. And chain 1, skip the 2 double crochet from the previous round and pop 3 double crochet into the chain 1 space. Now we're going to be repeating that same stitch pattern all the way back to our starting point, where we will slip stitch into the 3rd loop of the starting chain that served as our first double crochet. So 3 double crochet in the chain space, chain 1, skip the double crochet and work another 3 double crochet into the next chain space. If you want to follow along with the video, go back around 2 minutes. Otherwise, continue with that stitch pattern all the way back to the beginning, and I'll meet you back here to do round 5. Alright, we're growing quickly. That's the best thing about any granny, really. I'm continuing with the same colour. If you don't want to do that, just slip stitch to any chain 1 space. If you are changing colours, simply join with a slip stitch into a chain 1 space. Keeping it nice and simple for this one. Now I'm going to chain 3, which will count as the first double crochet. And then I'm going to pop 3 double crochet into the chain space. So 4, including our starting chain. And 4 double crochet into the chain 1 space of the previous round. Chain 1. Skip the 3 double crochet, working into the chain space with 4 double crochet. So I can think you're getting the idea of how the pattern develops by this point. Each round we add another double crochet into the chain spaces, and because it is a circular style granny, we only work in chain spaces. We don't work over stitches. Chain 1, and 4 double crochet into the chain 1 space of the previous round. So we're going to repeat this exact stitch pattern all the way back to the beginning, where we'll slip stitch into the 3rd loop of the starting chain as we have done on the previous rounds. If you would like to follow along with the video, go back around 2 minutes. Otherwise, continue with the 4 double crochet into each chain space, separated with a chain 1. I'll see you all in a moment. Alright, pretty much to size now. It's time to square up on round 6. If you've changed colour, just slip stitch into chain space. If you're continuing with the same colour, just slip stitch across the top of the double crochet to your chain space. Alright, we're going to start off with a corner. So we're going to chain 4, which will serve as our first treble crochet. Round twice, pop another treble crochet into the chain space. Third treble. And a fourth. And we're going to chain 2 for that corner space and pop another 4 treble crochet into the same chain space. So we've got 4 treble crochet, a chain of 2 and another 4 treble crochet. I'm going to chain 1, skip the doubles, just working into the chain spaces. We'll pop 4 double crochet into the chain space. Chain 1. We're going to pop 4 half double crochet into the chain space. Chain 1, pop 4 double crochet into the chain space. 3, and 4. Chain 1, and we're back to a corner again. So 4 treble crochet, three and 4, chain 2, and pop another 4 treble crochet into the same chain space. Last one. We chain 1, pop 4 double crochet into the next chain space. Three, 4, chain 1. Now this will be the center of our side. You can see how the taller and shorter stitches are squaring off our outer edge. So this is being the center. This one is 4 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, and we're going to pop 4 double crochet into the next chain space. This cluster of stitches and a chain 1 will take us back to the corner. So I'm going to leave you here to follow the exact same stitch pattern back to the beginning. If you would like to follow along with the video, go back around 6 minutes and you'll be completing the first corner space. Otherwise, just get started on the 4 treble crochet, the chain of 2 and the second set of 4 in that chain space to form the corner. I'll meet you back here shortly and we'll do our final round to finish squaring this beautiful granny wheel square up. Thank you. Alright champs, it's our final round. How pretty that is. Works up quite quickly as well. So final round is just single crochet to finish squaring off and make it easy to join our squares. So we're just putting a single crochet into each stitch all the way around back to the beginning where we'll slip stitch. Corner spaces have 2 chains, so 2 single crochet. Of course, if you needed a bigger stitch to make the right size, or it's already the right size, you could omit this row, or of course do a half double crochet if you need it to be bigger. In our single chain spaces, we'll just pop 1 single crochet. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful today. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Don't forget to give the video a like on our YouTube channel. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Happy hooking!